What's up, everyone? I wanted to come on and share. Got some new things in the mail today for the 22 Gen 3 Busa. Um, got me some Cormoto stainless steel brake lines, and then this baby. So I ordered these a little while back. Finally got here. Saw them originally on More Mafia. These are the billet velocity stacks. These things are gorgeous. CNC machined. Took about 10 days to get here, so if you guys order them from this guy, it's going to take a little while, and the tracking numbers on them kind of freaked me out, I guess, because it's a different country. It shows when he brings them down to the post office, and then it doesn't show anything until literally the day before it gets here. But if you order these, they will show up, I promise. These things are freaking beautiful. I'll tell you right now, they are not cheap. They were about $580 shipped, but I'll tell you what, when I look at HTP, who's making their velocity stacks, their 3D printed plastic material, and they're charging $450 for them plus shipping. I would take the billet aluminum ones, CNC machined, any day over the plastic 3D printed ones. These things are just absolutely beautiful. The only part of it that sucks is obviously when they're installed. It's a bling part that you don't ever see, but that's okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get these in there, and then I could start getting this bike tuned. All right, guys, I'm back. It's a couple of days later. These velocity stacks came literally right as I was leaving to go to work, and I'm working a couple hundred miles away from home right now, so I had to wait till I came back. So you can see I already got my bike apart. Took the, well, I basically got into the airbox. I don't think you guys all need to see that. It's a very simple installation. If you guys don't know, if you've never done it before and you're nervous about doing it, trust me, once you get the front panels off the bike, and I'm not talking about the side panels, I'm talking about just the panels up front. Once you get those off the bike, it's a matter of 4 or 5 screws and a couple of little plastic pop rivets. All can be reused, and then you get the tank up and you're good to go. It's a super simple installation. I did want to show you the difference between these two. So there's the difference off the bike, and in a second I'll show you the difference on the bike. So I can tell you, I already know I'm going to lose a little bit of power down low. Chris Moore had already put these in, dynoed them. Believe it or not, that's actually going to help the bike on the long run, because it's going to give it a little less power down low, which will allow me to launch the bike harder. It will also probably allow me to go up 2 teeth in the back, which is what I'd like to do. Give me quite a bit more acceleration. And the fact that these, when he dynoed them, they gave him an extra 1,000 RPM of 180 plus horsepower. Instead of dropping off at 10.5 down to 150 horsepower, it carried the horsepower all the way out to the red line. So literally you can go up 2 teeth in the back and probably not lose any top end power, but you'll gain a lot of acceleration. So that's what my intentions are. Let me show you them, what they look like in the bike. I installed one side already, so you can see the difference of them sitting in there. Those stock ones, they literally almost go to the top of the airbox, so it's going to be a big difference in there. So you can see the secondary injectors sticking out of there. See my Sprint air filter that I already put in there. So yeah, it's going to make a big difference in there. Alright, I'm going to get this last one installed. I'll start it up. I already know the bike needs to be tuned. Once I don't know if I reiterated in my last video, but once I put that full pipe on it with the Sprint air filter, it runs good, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's not drivable, but there's definitely some pops and bangs coming from the bottom end when you're decelerating, and those aren't good pops. Those are lean pops. So I definitely have to get this bike dyno tuned. I just still don't know if I'm going to do the ECU flash or if I'm going to do a PC5. I already bought a PC5, still sealed in the box. If any of you guys are interested in buying a PC5, let me know. Still sealed in the box. I will sell to you pretty cheap, and that may help me make my decision if I wanted to go ECU a PC5. Just hit me up in the comment, and trust me, I'll give you a really good price on a PC5, brand new in the box. But let me get this installed and then I'll start it up for you guys. Alright guys, you can see they are all in and they look really nice. Don't you love my tank prop mag light? But they look really good in this thing. The only thing that sucks about doing these is it's such a nice piece, a nice part, and they're just completely hidden. You know, I almost wish I had an old, I had a Ducati once that had a airbox, and the tank was fiberglass, and you could see through it, and the top of the airbox was clear and you can see through it. It was just more of looks than anything else, but it looked really cool and you can see inside the airbox, and it made me think if I only had something like that right now, those would look pretty blinged out. But ultimately I don't really care. Well, of course we all care about how it looks, but ultimately it's really how it performs. But there they are inside the bike. Certainly brightens up that airbox a lot. Alright, let me get this thing closed up. Alright guys, it's back together. The only thing I haven't put on yet is the two, I don't know what the hell you call them, runner cover flappy things. I don't know if I'm going to put those back on yet. I was actually thinking about getting those wrapped in black. Or Montgomery sells a carbon fiber front tank cover. So I'm kind of back and forth. I don't want to do both because then I feel like it'll be too much black up top. Not really sure about that yet. But I don't know, I'll probably throw them back on. It takes 2 minutes. The total installation time with this took me, I would say, 35 minutes to do. Like I said, not a very difficult installation to do. One thing I will suggest, if you do decide to buy these from this gentleman that makes them overseas, he does a really good job CNCing them. They're really, to me, they're really high quality. But what he doesn't do, it looks like, he doesn't deburr them. I don't know if he's got a lot of people ordering them, so he's just trying to make them and ship them. Because Chris Moore, when he was talking about it, he did not mention anything about it. But mine, when they got here, there was a lot of little metal pieces on the edges. So I definitely took some 320 grit sandpaper and had to go over all the edges on it and everything. You don't want any of that stuff getting sucked down into your airbox, into your motor. So just keep that in mind when you get them. If you order them, maybe you'll have a better luck than I did with a set that comes, but mine definitely need to be cleaned up and deburred. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but I'm gonna go get my tablet and I'll hold up his Facebook to you, because that's how you get them. You get them through Facebook, and you just order them straight through him and they will come. And he also makes a really killer rotor for the bike. I haven't sent it to him yet, but I'm going to take mine off and I'm going to send it to him, and he drills out the rotor to make a lightweight rotor. Every little bit helps, guys. I know it may seem minuscule, and you know, I'm 270 pounds, but it doesn't mean I don't want my bike to not be the best that it can be. I've heard people say, well, you know, you could just go on a diet and do the same to take the weight. No, it's not the case. I still want my bike to perform the best that it possibly can, regardless of my weight. So yeah, things like that help. Lightweight sprockets, switching to a 525 conversion that I'm gonna do, can literally take off about 2 to 3 pounds of rotating mass. I know there's a lot of people talk about that and say it helps. It doesn't have. You know, I'm gonna talk about that later. But every little bit helps, trust me. Let me go get my key. I'm gonna start this up and then I'm gonna take it for a ride. I'll try to mount my camera on the bike so you can. Man, I gotta get a GoPro mount. Hang on, let me start the bike up. Alright guys, true cold start. The bike hasn't been started in a few days. You get to hear the Yoshi pipe. Probably my favorite part. Guys, velocity stacks installed. As soon as I get a GoPro, guys, I promise you I'll get it on the bike and I'll do a quick run out with it. You can see the difference in the RPMs. Catch you later, guys. Hey guys, one last thing I wanted to say real quick about the velocity stacks. I said I was going to show you who does it. I'm not even going to pretend to try and pronounce his name correctly, so I'm just going to show you his Facebook page. You can see his name. Look him up on Facebook. Let me flip this around so you can read it correctly. There you go. So that's his Facebook page. That's how you get in touch with him. Just get him through Messenger, and he will make these V-stacks for you. This guy, he's got his own Busa. Let's see. Let me see if I can scroll through some of his photos real quick. There you go. There's his velocity stacks. Guy does really nice work. And I want to see if I can see his rotor that I was talking about too. See if I can get a close-up of his rotor. So that's a factory rotor that he cuts. Charges $100, I think he said, to do it. You send him your rotor and he'll do that, or you could do, I think he said if you just buy a new rotor, it's like $200 for the rotor and then $100 to do the work. And he'll do that for you too. Definitely, I've had wave rotors in the past. They don't make it for this bike yet. And if you don't want to wait, hit him up for that. That's probably the next thing I'm going to do when I order my wheels, and every little bit of weight on the rotating mass helps out. So hit him up, guys. Hermes Caputa Kiss, whatever, you saw the name. There you go. Definitely quality work, guys. Alright, see you on the next one. What's up, everyone? I wanted to come on and share. Got some new things in the mail today for the 22 Gen 3 Busa. Got me some Cormoto stainless steel brake lines, and then this baby. So I ordered these a little while back. Finally got here. Saw them originally on More Mafia. These are the billet velocity stacks. These things are gorgeous. CNC machined. Took about 10 days to get here, so if you guys order them from this guy, it's going to take a little while, and the tracking numbers on them kind of freaked me out, I guess, because it's a different country. It shows when he brings them down to the post office, and then it doesn't show anything until literally the day before it gets here. But if you order these, they will show up, I promise. These things are freaking beautiful. I'll tell you right now, they are not cheap. They were about $580 shipped. But I'll tell you what, when I look at HTP, who's making their velocity stacks, their 3D printed plastic material, and they're charging $450 for them plus shipping. I would take the billet aluminum ones, CNC machined, any day over the plastic 3D printed ones. These things are just absolutely beautiful. The only part of it that sucks is obviously when they're installed, it's a bling part that you don't ever see. But that's okay. Yeah, so I'm going to get these in there, and then I could start getting this bike tuned.